4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
This is Movies First with Alex First.
Being a soldier in a country locked in perpetual conflict can be tough at the best of times. Such is Israel's lot, where military service is compulsory. Imagine that knock on the door if you're the parents of a young military man or woman who doesn't make it, who's killed in action. That's what confronts Michael and Daphne Feldman, Lior Ashkenazi and Sarah Adler. Michael becomes increasingly frustrated by overzealous mourning relatives and well-meaning army bureaucrats. While his sedated wife rests, Michael spirals into a whirlwind of anger, only to experience one of life's unfathomable twists, which rival the surreal military experiences of his son. Einstein said that coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Writer and director Samuel Maoz sees Foxtrot as a dance of a man with his destiny. It's a philosophical parable trying to deconstruct this vague concept called fate through a story about a father and his son. Maoz chose to build his tale as a classic Greek tragedy in which the hero creates his own punishment and fights against anyone who tries to save him. Winner of the Grand Jury Prize at the Venice International Film Festival and the recipient of 8 Ophir Awards, being the Israeli equivalent of the Oscars, including Best Film, Best Director and Best Actor, Foxtrot is a slow-moving and complex movie with many threads.
You're listening to Movies First. For more, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
The first half hour or so is spent in the hours immediately after soldiers arrive, informing the next of kin of their son Yonaton's death. Yonaton played by Yonaton Shiray, the focus though squarely on his father. Then everything changes and before long we cut to an outpost in the middle of nowhere. Yonaton's job, along with that of his 3 mates, is to stop and check all vehicles and their inhabitants travelling down the road that they are patrolling. They even lift the archaic boom gate they control for the odd passing camel. It's pretty mundane and tiresome work. Yonaton relates a personal story to his colleagues that his father told him just before he enlisted, a pointer to the bond between them. But in truth, the father Michael is and has been a troubled soul, prone to anger and fits of pique, who's not a stranger to lashing out. There's a scene early on with a family pet that's most telling as well as distressing. He harbours a dark secret he hasn't been able to share with his wife. His marriage is in trouble, and that plays out in the film's final act. Foxtrot features a number of unheralded turns, moving first in one direction and then another. They point to emotional scars and happenstance, situations that cannot be controlled. They have a sledgehammer effect on the human condition. At times a tough sit, laborious even, Foxtrot is raw and insightful. There's a searing intensity in the performances of Ashkenazi and Adler, with primary focus on the former. In his case, we mightn't like elements of what we see. Let's face it, we don't. But our disdain is a mark of respect for the portrayal. There are no neat answers here, no fairy tale, only slice-of-life reality that veers towards the negative. Concentration is required to take it all in, and then work out in your own mind what you want to take away from it. Foxtrot scores an 8 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First with Alex First. Subscribe to the full podcast at Audioboom, Stitcher and iTunes, or your favourite podcast distributor. This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.